Hello everybody and welcome on into Sidelines, presented by Visit Potter Tioga. I'm Drew Patrick. On today's show, we preview the women's basketball season, plus we talk about an exciting senior day of women's soccer. Welcome back to Sidelines. Let's talk women's basketball as we have two super senior members of the women's basketball team, Merritt, Paige, Whitfield. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you for having us.
So first of all, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the monkey on everyone's back finally being out there and being able to play again after last year. How does that feel?
It feels really great, and you can definitely see it in all the players that we're all excited. It's been probably 2 years for just about everyone. But we're definitely excited to start.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's different being back, but it's a good feeling.
So ultimately, you two, the decision to come back, what went into that and why did you ultimately decide, hey, I have a chance to continue to play, let's do it?
Well, I still need to graduate. That's why I came back. And an extra year to play is the best thing, so.
Mm-hmm.
When I was looking at it, I actually had the opportunity to pick up another major. So I'll actually leave with a bachelor's in sports nutrition and dietetics. So it kind of worked out for me.
Hey, opportunities there. You might as well take them and still get to be on the team and contribute to the team is sure great. Also some new for you guys, a new head coach in Amy Senefelder. How has that transition been for you guys?
At first, it was definitely difficult not having a coach, but as soon as she got here, I think everything started to go so smoothly, getting right into practice and getting together as a team to do team activities and stuff. As soon as she got here, everything just seemed to go so much more smoothly.
Yeah, I like her coaching style. She's good.
It's very interesting, too, because you talk about that, and that's another thing that I don't think people realize is, yeah, she came pretty late into the fall. When she was finally on board. In that first couple stretch of, hey, you still got to get to know the freshmen. The sophomores are pretty much also freshmen coming in terms of playing. You guys as seniors, what do you kind of have to do for those freshmen, especially when you didn't have a coach early on?
Get everyone together, scrimmage, just see how everyone plays and build the team chemistry.
Yeah, it was definitely difficult for us too because our class schedules were insane this year and we barely got together, to be completely honest. And as soon as she got here, it was good that she got us going right away.
What has been the thing early with Coach Senefelder that has stood out to you guys early in practice, early with your time with her, that you think is going to make your group better?
Definitely her drive to motivate us to, the standings came out for PV-SAC, and of course we were 9th. I think we just took that more as motivation than anything, and she definitely reminds us that that's not the team that we are, and we need to show everybody that we're better than that.
Yeah, her determination and pushing everyone to do their best.
So looking at this group that you have here, again talking about our early couple of practices, what have been some of the things that have stood out to you and your group and trying to get that chemistry on the court early with 2 years of freshmen pretty much there? What has that been like for you guys this season?
I think we definitely have all the aspects we need, the components to win games. We have people that can fill multiple positions, which help a lot. Definitely a different style than what we were used to before, but I think everyone kind of got used to it pretty quickly, which is nice. I think we'll be ready.
Yeah, what she said.
So let's look forward to this weekend. It's already here, coming up, the start of your season, and you get to start at home. What kind of special bonus does that feel for you guys? The fact that your first game of this season after such a long break, it's at home.
It's exciting, and we want to win. It's the first home game, first game of the season. Just hype I'm ready.
Oh, yes.
I think it's definitely going to be more comfortable, especially for the newcomers that we're used to playing on this court. We're practicing on this court every day, so it's going to be more of an advantage that we're all more comfortable there.
The Yuva, the opponent. In that matchup, what are some of the things you guys want to try to do early? I mean, early in the season, whatever your focuses are, what your things are, and especially early in that game, what are some of those things that you guys really, I'm not trying to say divulge your whole strategy here, but like, what are some of those things that you want to focus on in this first matchup?
Defense, basically. Defense wins games.
Yeah, I know Coach mentioned that these first couple games that aren't conference, aren't in the PSAC, are very important. And if we get those wins right away, it's just going to be a good stepping stone to just heading into the PSAC right after.
It's going to be an exciting season, and you guys know how challenging this conference can be at times. Looking forward at the season as a whole, what are your expectations for you, either individually or as a team, to close this one out? What are your goals and expectations?
I know one thing her and I both have wanted is being above 500. It's just consistency. We've always had the talent and the skills too, but working as a team is what I think we kind of struggled on. And I think we definitely have potential to do that this year.
Yeah, I agree with what she said. Just winning games, playoff spot.
Win games, and that's absolutely the next step. Well, thank you both so much for taking the time and stopping by today.
Thank you
for having us.
And Sidelines continues after this. Do not go anywhere.
It's all part of Mother Nature's perfect blend, the keystone of the Keystone State. Visit Potter Tioga, a 2-county scenic outdoor haven conveniently located, yet worlds apart. A place where you can kick back, unwind, and forget about the pressures of life. Disconnect and reconnect with your friends, family, or even yourself while surrounded by nature's beauty. So start planning your adventures today at visitpottertioga.com.
Welcome back to Sidelines. Let's talk women's soccer as we have two senior members of the women's soccer team, Meg Noone, Stephanie Moir. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
So, look, let's jump right into it. It was senior day this past Saturday. What did that moment mean to you guys?
You can go first.
It was it was just a special moment because it was like tying in the last 4 years. It's our last home game. It's been a crazy ride, so it was just awesome getting to spend it with the team, with my family.
Yeah, you wrapped it up. You said it pretty well. It was just a special day to look back on all of our memories and spend time with our family and friends, so it was a great day.
And you know what, that matchup too, diving into the game against Lock Haven, a heartbreaking first matchup with this team. So what do you guys have to say as the senior leaders of this team before that game, or what did you say to be like, hey, we remember that feeling, let's come out here, it's the last game? What did you say to the group?
Yeah, throughout the season we had a lot of we're almost there, we just need one more push. So I think it was just the mentality of the whole team and that we were fighting for each other that got us through and put us on top for the last game.
Yeah, I think we really wanted it. We've been in so many overtimes this season, and I think this one was we really pushed to get the win.
So, and we'll get to talk about that overtime period, but it was a 1-0 victory. So for you guys, especially on the defensive side, to finish your career with a shutout, that's got to feel really good.
Yeah, it did.
Sure. So walk me through that game. Early, there there was a lot of challenges for you, or even if the ball just got to you and you guys playing defensively, what was kind of the strategy early on in that game?
We really tried to like man mark that game, so like trying to stay touch tight and close with the players to not allow for those through balls and not allow for shots. So like really focusing on that, I thought our team did really well and we were able to shut them down easy.
Yeah, we wanted to be the more aggressive team, and we wanted to like have more energy coming out, and I think we really matched them, and we went a little bit like beyond, so that was awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. I think people underestimate, truthfully, the communication aspect of that from both of you, especially in goal, directing the defense, and Meg directing everything there too. How important has been that communication? How have you seen it grow too in your careers or just in this season?
Definitely being specific and communication is important, because if you don't tell somebody, there's another person near them, or that person can easily just get through. So like I really focused over the years on becoming more specific in my communication, and I think that has helped us a lot.
Yeah, I've definitely tried to be more positive on the team or on the field with my teammates, just so they know that they have my support, and just overall like communicating even the little things, just so that everything is like covered and we know what we're doing.
So I have to ask, there was that corner early in that game where, Meg, you had that touch and so close. Walk me through that corner on the shot there.
I know. I wish that I got over it. I was just trying to follow up the ball, like, because you never know what's going to happen. But I don't know, I was too nervous, too excited.
But then you talked about overtime. We go into that overtime period. It's still a 0-0 match. Is there something extra said? Coach Schaefer said really he didn't have to say much. You guys were kind of just talking to each other. So what was said in that group to each other getting ready for that overtime period?
Just basically like this is what we worked for all season, and we want to go out on a high note, especially for the younger girls. Like next season, this gives them like so much to look up or like look forward to. And I think it just like showed all of our hard work has paid off, and we finally got through.
Yeah, we also discussed how many overtimes we've been in, and we just need to finish one, like do what they did to us.
So walk me through the emotions. Emily Smith's goal goes in. What are your emotions right at that point? You know you won the game.
Happy tears.
Yes, very much so, happy tears. Very overwhelming happiness.
Yeah, I had to pick her up off the ground.
So again, you guys as seniors going on to graduate, and this is a team that's developing, and how important do you think your role has been in really helping develop? Yeah, it's unfortunate that you won't get to see the glory aspect of it, of a rebuild, but to be a key building block, how do you approach that role, or how do you approach it looking back at your careers there to be that kind of building block for a growing program?
Yeah, I'm glad that I always stuck with it and never gave up. And even though this year we didn't have as many wins as we wanted, I think we still saw a lot of progress compared to where we came from. So that's awesome. And I don't know, just all the love we have for each other, I know that I'll always remember them and they'll always remember me. So it's just a lot of love, I guess.
Yeah, there's a lot of love on the team, and I feel like the team itself has gotten a lot closer, which is awesome. So the culture has gotten so much better, and it's just although we didn't get the outcomes we wanted, it's just overall a more positive and better team.
And they're going places.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. Congratulations, both of you, on great careers. Thank you so much for taking the time and stopping by.
Thank you.
And Sidelines continues after this. Do not go anywhere.
Pride and passion drives the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. From 55 NCAA championship teams, 294 individual national champs, and counting. Who's next? Make the PSAC yours. PSAC Proud is winning in athletics and in the classroom. Over 3,100 PSAC student athletes are honored as scholar athletes. It's a perfect mix of athletics and academics. It's time to make the PSAC yours.
Welcome back to Sidelines. Let's continue to talk women's soccer as we go from the seniors to some of the returners coming up for next year. We have Emily Smith and Katelyn Rueppel. Thank you both so much for stopping by.
Of course.
So let's get right into it. It was a senior day. What did it mean for you guys to be able to honor those seniors in Meg and Steph?
I feel like for me, like they were like really good role models, like even off the field. So like it was really special, not just like for them, but for us. And obviously, that was obviously a winnable game. And like we knew that before we went into overtime. It was a really close game last time. So we were like, this is like one chance, like let's send the seniors like outright. And I feel like we did a really good job, and we all just like enjoyed the day. But it was like really special moment because like we ended on a win, and it was like going into the game, we had a lot of energy. We did like a little barbecue before the game and everything. So it was just like really like special even before like stepping on the field. So I was like really excited. But.
Definitely not having a season last year, getting to know them through that way, like bonding at practices rather than through games was much different. And I think we had such a good connection. And then coming into this year, we were just so excited to play it. So we wanted to have the best season we could for them, for sure.
And a great game it certainly was. And you guys, especially as really the attacking forwards there, in a game that's so close like this, that's 0-0 going through regulation, what are some of those little things and little adjustments you have to kind of make mid-game to try and strike through?
I feel like a big part is mentality. When you're like starting to get fatigued, as like playing in the midfield, we're up and back. So I mean like we don't have the break. So I feel like it's really mentality to get back and like want to defend. But then when you get the opportunity to go and to try and score, that's mental for me. It's like you got to, like I know your body's hurting, but you got to push through. So I think mostly mentality, but also a little bit of heart. We really wanted to win, and like in the last, like looking at the clock every like 5 minutes, I'm like 5 more minutes, like we got to like push through, like just finish it out. But yeah.
100%. Tactically even, if they change their formation and we change ours, we have to find ways to adjust and rest in certain points during the game, not always drop back. But I think there were points that I was able to find a rest point and then be able to go forward. But overall, I think it was definitely heart at the end of the game for sure, just wanting to win.
You talk about that. It's such an really kind of underrated, not much talked about, just truly the endurance you guys have to have throughout the whole game.
Yeah.
Really constantly running there. How have you seen that develop, that side of your game develop this season?
I would say like in the first couple games, we went into overtime, like literally our first like 2 or 3 games. And I could see a major difference from those games looking back on Saturday. We did not look as tired as we usually do in those last like minutes of the first overtime. Like usually we don't have people dropping back or like we're making really stupid fouls, but like at that game, like I think we stayed together, and I think everybody pushed through, especially in like the first overtime. Usually when we sit down before the first overtime, like we come out a little slow. And I think we changed that, and we were like, we have the fitness, we've prepared for the overtimes, so let's just stick it out this last one. We've been at the short end of the stick every overtime. And so I think like just thinking like knowing that we are endured, like really helped us out, because I feel like in the beginning, like we didn't think that we had like the fitness to go those extra 10 minutes. Like I feel like we always thought like, oh, we don't have the endurance, like we're not gonna make it. And I think that night, like we knew we could make it. We knew that we were in shape, and like we trusted the running and like all the fitness that we had to do at the beginning, and I think it showed.
I mean, as you fatigue, your mind fatigues as well. We talk about it all the time. We have to stay as sharp mentally as we are physically. And something I think we did very well in this last game was stay sharp mentally as long as we were fatigued. And I think that was the difference. I think we stayed in the game focused. Our adrenaline was pumping. We were ready to go. We wanted to win. And staying sharp mentally really helped us.
Yeah, the mental aspect is such a really, again, is an underrated, not to harp on what I just said, but really an underrated thing. Also, that was a physical game. Katelyn, you got beat up in that game there. So on a cold night, it's November, it's, again, the mental aspect of when you're getting beat up, it's a physical game, where's that kind of switch in your brains to try and, all right, let's keep going on this?
For me, it's just like the want to win. Honestly, I hate losing, so when we're in a close game like that, it's like we're right there, so let's just come out on top. And the physical aspect of things, that doesn't really that doesn't affect me. I mean, every once in a while I'm like, all right, this is enough. But like, I feel like there's more of like a want to like get back up and like go score and like just celebrate. Like it's worth it in the end when you come out on top. Like yes, getting pushed around, it being cold, like yes, that's obviously not fun, but that's both teams. And like we as a team have to realize like we're not the only team who's suffering from the cold or like the physical aspect of things. And there's always going to be games where we're more physical than one team or they're more physical than us. And that's just part of like adapting and like learning the game and understanding like you're going to get pushed around. You're going to have games that are really cold. But then again, that mental part or like just the want to like be here and be playing and win, I think that's a big thing for that.
I avoid the physical as much as I can. But I mean, if I get in a little scuffle, I'm going to win. But at the end of the day, I try to avoid it as much as possible. She engages it.
Well, speaking of avoiding, let's not avoid the elephant. And Emily, walk me through the golden goal there, that game winner.
On the throw-in, across the field, I didn't really check in. I stayed in my position. Bailey had sent it in, and I saw Rueppel. She jumped up for it. I was like, oh, wait, she didn't get it. It came in my right foot. I cut it in, and I got a good touch on it, I guess, to be able to skip it in there past the keeper. And then I didn't even really see it go in the net because I was on the ground. But then the next thing I knew, Rueppel was running at me, and I was like, oh, it went in. And then we celebrated, and it was an incredible moment. And I just really took it in and was so happy for my seniors that we could end our season like that. So that was incredible.
And your emotions going through or watching that goal go in, what is your mindset there? As soon as you see that goal go in, you know we won.
I mean, the second it went over my head, didn't even know Smithy was going to be back there. I'm going to be completely honest. I thought I was going to have to turn around and go get it. But I saw, and it like dropped like perfectly right where she needed it. And I saw her take that touch. And honestly, the second it left her foot, I knew it was going in. The goalie was near side. She hit it far side. Like it was a perfect moment, like goal scoring opportunity. And I feel like we had a lot of those throughout the game. So like seeing the one right there, knowing it was going to go in, like I instantly got chills. Because like it was senior night and like I got tears in my eyes because like obviously I don't want the seniors to like be gone. I mean, there's only 2, so we had really close connections with both of them. But it was just amazing, like just seeing it go in and like seeing our team like actually like come together and celebrate. Like it was really special. Like we haven't had a celebration like that all year. And I think that it was a really special moment, and it made us realize like what we're capable of. I mean, I know it was a little late, but I think it finally made us younger, like the underclassmen realize like we are capable of winning. And I think that was a great way to end the season, because coming in next season, now we know what we're ready and we know what we can already do.
For sure.
And so the dog pile there. I mean, you're probably on so much adrenaline you don't feel your entire team on top of you, but
I don't think that much adrenaline could stop that. I definitely knew they were on top of me.
Oh, no.
I was, we were all hugging. I was like, okay, this is good. And then we started going down, and I was like, uh-oh. And then they were all on me, and I was like, I kind of just laid there like a dead fish, because I was like, but this is awesome. So it was a good moment.
It's a happy compromise.
Yeah, for sure.
So you touched on it. What can you take from that being the final game of the year, but getting a win, and you got a large portion of you coming back? You said there's 2 seniors. And what can you take moving forward into the spring and training there and into next season from this last game?
A big thing for us too, especially, we already talked about it. It starts now. We have like a 2-week period where we don't have to do anything, but we're not going to get better or better than our other PSAC competition unless we start now. Like, yes, we improved throughout the season. We did really good things, but like, we're done that season and we need to like wrap that season up, and like we need to start now. We can't wait till the spring because other teams aren't going to be waiting till the spring. And I think a lot of it is just growing like as a person. We made a lot of mistakes that I don't think would be made if we weren't so young throughout the year. Like the overtimes, the close games. We have like 3 upperclassmen on the field. That's, compared to other teams, that's nothing. So I think a lot of it was just not having the experience. And I think going forward, for us, we have a ton of experience. We played more freshmen than anything, and now we all have that first season under our belt, and we know what we have to do in order to be able to compete with the other teams for next year. We've already talked with like Greg and everybody. Like, we already know what we need to do. It's just now we have to do it.
I think, as she said, we have more freshmen than anything. I consider our class freshmen. We are one big class playing in our first PSAC season. I think what we do now is take the momentum from that game, but also take the heartbreak of the losses that we had in the middle of the season. Those losses were heartbreaking, and we felt we should have won those games. So we take that anger, that heartbreak, and the momentum and move on to fight for the next season, because I do believe this class is special. I believe we can change something, change this program to a point where we are going to shock the world. We are going to shock people, and they better watch out for us next year for sure.
Hey, well, that's I'm looking forward to it, absolutely. Thank you both so much for taking the time and stopping by.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you
us.
for having us, for sure.
And Sidelines continues after this. Do not go anywhere. While this semester will look a little different, we're taking steps to promote a safe campus environment and to help us return to normal faster. You'll notice students and employees wearing face masks that cover their nose and mouth in order to keep you safe. We ask that you do the same to protect your fellow Mounties. Face masks are required inside all campus buildings and should be worn when visiting locations outside of campus as well. Mounties, we're all in this together. And that's going to do it for this show, folks. To stay up to date on all things Mansfield Athletics, head over to GoMounties.com. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week.